Something leave marks that no amount of time can fully erase. Not the kind you can hide with long sleeves or makeup. The real damage settles somewhere deeper in the quiet parts of you that once believed the person sleeping beside you would always keep you safe. And the worst part, sometimes the people who hurt you the most are the same people who once made you feel chosen. It was a Tuesday in November. Rain tapped hard against the kitchen window while the clock above the stove pushed slowly past midnight. The apartment smelled like burnt coffee and cold air slipping through the cracks in the door. He stood near the counter, breathing hard. She was on the floor, one hand pressed against her ribs, the other flat against the linoleum tiles, trying to steady herself. She did not scream, did not cry. After 3 years with Carter, she had learned silence usually ended things faster. His shoes moved back and forth across the kitchen like taking arms of a metronome. Carter had not always looked like this. Once he was the man who remembered exactly how much cream she liked in her coffee, the man who opened the car doors, the man who called her the strongest person he had ever met. People love him. That was the problem. Nobody ever sees the switch happen in real time. It started our bank statement, just numbers. She asked where the money was going. That was it. One simple question, but to Carter, question felt like a take. The cabinet door slammed open. Then came the kick. Pen exploded through her side before she even hit the floor. A crack, sharp and deep enough to steal the air from her lungs. And then came the part she feared most, not the violence, the coldness after it. Kettle looked at her without guilt, without panic. He checked his phone, slid it into his pocket, grabbed his jacket, and walked out into the rain like nothing had happened. The apartment fell in silence. Then came the soft crack of the hallway door. Tiny footstep. Noah, 5 years old, dinosaur pajama, stuffed rabbit tucked under one arm. He did not ask question. He just sat beside her quietly on the kitchen floor. Then he reached into his little pajama pocket and pulled out her phone. His small hand pushed it toward her. Call Grandpa, he whispered. She looked at him, confused. Noah hugged the rabbit tighter and said the words that finally broke something inside her. Grandpa makes things better, that's what Grandpa does. My father was a not wealthy man. He lived in a small yellow house outside Tacoma. With cracky porch step and a garden he cared about more than himself. He had spent 36 years teaching high school history before retiring with bad knees and a coffee addiction. But he was steady. Every Sunday at exactly 7:30 p.m. my phone rang, no matter what. Birthday, snowstorms, holidays, it did not matter. My father always called, and slowly, over the years, Carter made sure those calls become shorter and shorter. First came the jokes. Your dad worries too much. Then the irritation. Do we really need to spend every holiday there? Then eventually silence. By the end, Noah had only met Grandpa a few times. But children remember kindness differently than adults do. They hold on to it. So that night, sitting beside me on the kitchen floor, Noah knew exactly who to call. My hands shook when I pressed the number. Dad answered on the second ring. No slip in his voice, just instant attention. Sweetheart. I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. There was a long silence. Then he asked only one question. What's the address, sweetheart? That was it. No anger, no interrogation. Now I told you so. Just direction. He drove 3 hours in 2.5. I never asked how fast. By 1:40 in the morning, we were packing 2 bags, no clothes, important papers, passport, my nursing credentials, and a waterproof folder hidden beneath winter blankets in the closet. I stared at it for a long moment. Emergency cash, copies of records, phone number, a living folder. Something inside me had been preparing long before I admit I needed to escape. At the hospital, 2 cracked ribs were confirmed. Dar Okafor looked at the bushes. Then he looked at me. He did not rush, did not push. He simply held me gaze long enough to give me a choice. And for the first time, I told the truth. All of it. The screaming, the control, the fear, the money disappearing, everything. The lawyer my father found was named Margaret Solano. The first thing she asked me was not about evidence, it was not about divorce, it was, "Are you safe right now?" I looked past her office doorway toward the tiny apartment kitchen where my father stood making grilled cheese sandwiches while Noah sat at the table drawing dinosaur with blue crayons, and I realized safely did not feel like silence, it felt like people. Yes, I said softly. For the first time in a long time, I think I am. Then came the bank investigation, $94,000 missing, hidden transfer, a shell company called Meridian's Lifestyle Solution LLC, and then a name, Danielle Park, an apartment in Bellevue, utilities in Carter, name, a key card record showing year of visit, then finally the photograph, a little boy, maybe 3 years old, curly hair, standing in a playground, while Carter held his hand like a proud father. I stared at the picture until the room blurred, because the man who destroyed our family had already been building another one 20 minutes away the entire time. His attorney requested a hearing, a full review of the evidence, financial records, custody arguments, character statement. For the first time in years, Carter wanted everything examined closely and strangely. I was relieved because this time I was ready. I had Tar Oka for photograph. I had 4 months of recorded calls filled with threat, apologies, and contradiction. I had financial reports tracing every hidden transfer, and I had Margaret sitting beside me with color coded folder and the calm confidence of someone who already knew the truth would survived the room. So I said, let's give them their hearing. The courtroom was smaller than I expected. No dramatic music, no shooting, just fluorescent lights and tired people flipping through paperwork. Judge Sawan sat quietly behind her bench, reading documents through low glass. Carter spoke about investment opportunities. Judge Sawan looked up briefly. Investment in what? Real estate opportunities. He answered carefully. The judge nodded once. I see. Then she wrote something down. That tiny sound of pen against paper felt louder than anything Carter had ever screamed at me, because for once someone saw him clearly. The verdict came 3 weeks later, 42 months, criminal conviction, a set judgment. When we walked out of the courthouse, the air smelled like warm pavement and spring rain. It was the first week of May. Noah ran up the courthouse step toward me so fast, his backpack bones against his shoulder. "Did we win, Mama?" I laughed before I could stop myself. "Yes," I said. He thought about it seriously for a second. "Can we get pizza?" "No." My father burst out laughing beside us, loud and free, and the sound drifted upward into the bright afternoon air. And somehow, after everything, that felt like the real victory. Not revenge, not punishment, normal life. Later that month, I watched Noah and my father planting tomatoes in the backyard garden. Direct covered Noah's knees. He held a tiny shovel with complete seriousness while Grandpa showed him where the roots should go. And standing there, watching them laugh together, I finally understood three things. Silence never protects anyone. It only feeds the thing hurting you. You cannot say for the children. Children need safety more than they needed appearance, and healing is not something that suddenly arrives one morning. You choose it daily, some days quietly, some days painfully, but you chose it. My worth is not negotiable. My son is safe is not negotiable, and no one is ever going to take either of them from again. If any part of this feel familiar to you, please don't carry it alone. The hardest phone call of my life became the part reason I survived. Maybe someone reading this needs to head there today. What did this story bring up for you? Leave in the comments. Your words might become the things that help someone else finally make the call they have been afraid to make.